I feel like it'll be a little entertaining. I don't know how long he's gonna last in with these big shots coming at him, but hey, only time will tell. You know, I'm not here to hype that shit up. Yeah. That's not even my business. That's somebody else fish to fry.
Yeah.
You know, I got my.
Jermell Charlo, who's faced Canelo in the ring, isn't buying into the hype around the Crawford fight. With his first-hand experience, Charlo's blunt take suggests Crawford might not last long against Canelo's brutal punches. Charlo's words get even more intense as he reveals what it felt like to face Canelo at the top of his game. He stated, "Canelo's a mother beast. Maybe I felt that more because it was my first time at this weight division." For Charlo, stepping up a weight class and facing Canelo was a brutal wake-up call. Now with Crawford moving up to challenge Canelo, the stakes are higher than ever. Charlo's words pack weight, hinting that Crawford might be stepping into a fight that's tougher than he's ready for. With Canelo's dominance at this weight, it's hard to ignore the warning signs. Crawford's speed and skill will be tested in ways he's never experienced before. Caleb Plant, another fighter who shared the ring with Canelo, brings a chilling perspective on just how hard the Mexican champ hits.
You know, it's like the first punch he's going to hit you with, you know, your ribs are going to explode and and it's like.
Plant's experience facing Canelo left a lasting impression, especially on his body. He describes the power in a way that leaves no room for doubt. Canelo's punches are something you feel deep in your bones. It's not just the strength, but the precision with which he lands his shots that makes it feel like you're in a different league. For Crawford, moving up in weight to face Canelo, this could be a whole new level of pain. As Plant points out, it's not just about toughness, it's about surviving the storm once those shots start landing. Amir Khan, who's been in the ring with Canelo, also weighs in on Crawford's decision to step up and face the champ.
Yeah, I don't think that should happen. Look, I like Crawford, and I think Canelo is a beast that way. Honestly, I would advise Crawford not to do that.
Khan's advice echoes the concerns of many who have faced Canelo's power firsthand. Despite his respect for Crawford, Khan is clear. Taking on Canelo might be a dangerous move for the welterweight champion. The physical toll of facing someone as powerful as Canelo is something Crawford may not be fully prepared for, especially when jumping up in weight. Khan's warning is one to take seriously. Canelo's punches have left lasting impacts on seasoned fighters. For Crawford, this fight may be more than just a challenge. It could be a test of survival. Tim Bradley, always candid in his analysis, lays out a compelling argument on why Crawford may struggle against Canelo's size and power.
Canelo Alvarez is a great fighter, period. He is. Rather you have him as the greatest or just great, he's a great fighter. And he's gonna go down in Mexican history, in the history of boxing, as one of the greatest fighters, period, of this generation, period, whether you like it or not.
Bradley recognizes Crawford's exceptional boxing IQ, but points out the real challenge, the size difference. Canelo's power and ability to close the distance could overwhelm Crawford if he can't keep him at bay. The physical toll of taking Canelo's punches is a huge factor that could decide the fight. While Crawford is a master at setting traps and exploiting weaknesses, there's no guarantee that skill alone will be enough to overcome a fighter as relentless as Canelo. Bradley's assessment raises a key question. Can Crawford survive the damage if he can't stop Canelo's momentum? Bradley also acknowledges Crawford's audacity to pursue greatness by taking on Canelo. But there's a catch. Size matters.
We know Canelo can be outboxed, or at least I know. The fans don't believe that. I know you don't believe anything I say. I get it. It's all right. He can be outboxed, but the size difference is what's scary about that fight. You know, if Crawford can't hurt him, if Crawford can't stop him from coming forward, and Crawford's great at exposing high guards. He knows how to come underneath and come around it. You know, he knows how to set traps for his opponents. And I think he'll be able to lay a lot of traps for Canelo. I think he'll give him a lot more issues and problems than Charlo, no doubt about it, because of the mentality. And he will come to win. But I just wonder, one, can he take Canelo's punch? You know, and can he stay away from Canelo's punch? And can he absorb the punishment that he's going to get and have to go through? Because Canelo will close the distance on him, and Canelo will hit him and will pound on him. Now, Crawford, I think, has the skills. But again, I mean, the size, man. That size it's weight classes are there for a reason, man.
Bradley believes that Crawford has the skill set to outbox Canelo on an even playing field. However, the weight difference adds a whole new challenge that can't be ignored. Crawford's speed, precision, and ability to outthink opponents might be his best assets. But Canelo's power and size could dominate the fight. It's clear that Bradley sees Crawford's ambition to step up as a bold move, but the sheer physicality of Canelo could limit his chances. Despite his skills, Crawford may find himself facing an uphill battle he's never had to contend with before. Tim Bradley doesn't hold back in expressing his admiration for Canelo, giving him his due recognition as one of the greatest fighters of this generation.
Crawford definitely would dare to be great. I think he has the skill set to beat a Canelo. If they were the same size, pound for pound, Crawford's skill set is better, all right, than Canelo's, in my opinion. Okay, now they're not the same size, and that's where the difficulty comes. Okay, all right, but I think that's daring right there to be great for Crawford, because again, his skill set outmatches Canelo.
Bradley's praise for Canelo speaks volumes about the Mexican champion's legacy in boxing. His ability to dominate across multiple weight classes and adapt his style makes him an undeniable force in the sport. Canelo's reputation as one of the greatest is solidified regardless of how people feel about him. Bradley's perspective highlights the difficulty any fighter, including Crawford, faces when going up against someone with Canelo's combination of skill, experience, and power. It's clear that Bradley views Canelo's greatness as an obstacle that Crawford will have to deal with in a fight that could define both their careers. Even before the fight was officially confirmed, Roy Jones Jr. was already sounding the alarm, offering a stern warning to Terence Crawford about the potential dangers of facing Canelo.
What about him and Crawford?
I was highly impressed by the performance.
Yeah, what about him and Crawford?
What were you impressed by? About the power he showed. When he fought the proper fight for the proper opponent. When you fight a guy coming up 2 weight classes, you're supposed to bully him. If he'd fought Floyd Mayweather that way back in the day, we'd saw a much better fight. But he didn't. But he's learned now, and that shows you that he's improved, and he understands boxing more now. Because he bullied the smaller guy, which is what you're supposed to do. What you say?
What about Crawford, Roy?
Crawford still, I think he's a little big for Crawford. I'm not sure about that, because Crawford does have punching power and shot, but I think Canelo's a little big. He showed tonight that he's pretty big. So I probably would rather see Charlo fight Crawford first, and then see how that goes. And he does good against Charlo with the weight, then let's see him come up and fight Canelo. Yes, but not right now. I want to see Crawford come up with the weight classes and show he can be dominant.
Jones, with his wealth of experience, cautions Crawford that facing a fighter like Canelo could be unlike anything he's encountered before. He acknowledges Crawford's undeniable skill, but highlights that Canelo's size, power, and relentless style could pose major challenges. Jones warns that Crawford might struggle to implement his usual tactics against someone with Canelo's ring IQ and ability to take punches. The fight, as Jones points out, will be more than just a test of skill. It's a test of survival. His advice carries weight considering the caliber of competition Jones has faced throughout his career. Bob Arum, a legendary promoter with years of experience in the sport, weighs in on the potential matchup between Canelo and Crawford, and his thoughts are far from optimistic for Crawford.
I think Canelo wipes the floor with him. I love Crawford. I told you when Crawford and Spence that Crawford would beat the hell out of him, but Canelo is a different proposition. It's an interesting fight.
Arum doesn't hold back, confidently stating that Canelo would dominate Crawford in a fight. While he respects Crawford's abilities, Arum makes it clear that Canelo is on another level. He acknowledges the intrigue of the fight, but remains firm in his belief that there is only one likely winner. According to Arum, Canelo's experience, power, and skill would simply be too much for Crawford to handle. This fight in Arum's eyes may be interesting, but the outcome seems almost certain in favor of the Mexican champ. Bob Arum further elaborates on the differences in experience and power between Canelo and Crawford, emphasizing how these factors could heavily influence the fight's outcomes.
Because Canelo is used to fighting at a particular level, and and I don't think that Terence can hurt Canelo, but Canelo can hurt.
Arum explains that Canelo's level of competition and his ability to withstand punishment are unmatched, especially when compared to Crawford's usual opponents. He argues that Crawford won't be able to hurt Canelo, but Canelo with his devastating power can easily hurt Crawford. This power differential is a key concern for Arum, who believes it will be a deciding factor in the fight. Despite Crawford's impressive skills, Arum's insight suggests that Canelo's experience and ability to dish out damage could prove to be the ultimate game-changer. Cordell Booker, who sparred with both Canelo and Crawford, offers his perspective on what could unfold in the highly anticipated fight, drawing attention to the weight difference and each fighter's experience.
Crawford adjusting to the 168-pound division. I know he's been sitting at a heavier weight for a while, but he's been showing his training and stuff. So that's definitely going to help him. Canelo experience, but then you got Crawford, he got great experience as well. It's going to be a great fight, it's going to be a good chess match. I expect a great fight. If I had to favor somebody, I would just pick Canelo because of the weight disparity.
Booker highlights Crawford's adjustments as he moves up to the 168 pounds division, noting that his training and weight gain could benefit him. However, despite Crawford's skill and preparation, Booker leans towards Canelo due to the significant weight disparity between the two. He anticipates a chess match, expecting both fighters to showcase their strategies. While Booker respects Crawford's ability, he still favors Canelo, recognizing that the weight difference and Canelo's experience at this level may tip the scales in the Mexican champ's favor. It's clear Booker expects a competitive fight, but believes Canelo's natural advantages will shine through. As a fighter who shared the ring with both Canelo and Crawford, Cordell Booker continues his analysis discussing the challenge Crawford faces moving up to 168 pounds to fight a natural in the division like Canelo.
Canelo is naturally sits really well at 168, and it's just always tough for a guy to come to 168 and come from that many weight classes up and do something like that. If he does it, if anybody can do it, it'll be Terence Crawford.
Booker explains how Canelo's natural comfort at 168 pounds presents a significant challenge for Crawford, who's moving up from lower weight classes. The jump in weight, especially after fighting at lighter divisions, makes it tough for Crawford to compete against someone who has consistently dominated at 168. However, Booker leaves a glimmer of hope, suggesting that if anyone can defy the odds, it would be someone like Crawford. His skill set is world-class, and Booker knows that if Crawford can somehow overcome the weight difference, it would be a massive achievement. But as Booker points out, that's no easy task against a fighter like Canelo. Roy Jones Jr., a boxing legend who has shared the ring with some of the sport's greatest, weighs in on the crucial factors that will decide the outcome of Canelo versus Crawford. He stated, "The weight won't be the factor. The factor will be how Canelo chooses to make the fight." Roy Jones Jr. emphasizes that the real deciding factor in this fight won't necessarily be the weight difference, but rather Canelo's strategy in the ring. He believes Canelo's approach to the fight will be more important than any physical advantages or disadvantages. If Canelo fights the way he's capable of, it could be a dominant performance. But how he handles the fight and the decisions he makes in the heat of the moment will determine the result. Continuing his analysis, Roy Jones Jr. delves deeper into the potential scenarios that could unfold in the fight between Canelo and Crawford. He stated, if Canelo comes out and does what Canelo should do, he wins the fight. If he comes out and does what he shouldn't do, Crawford wins the fight. Jones Jr. is clear that the fight's outcome hinges on Canelo's mindset and tactics. If he sticks to his strengths and controls the pace, Jones believes Canelo will have the upper hand. However, if Canelo makes mistakes or allows Crawford to dictate the action, that's when Crawford can capitalize. According to Jones, this fight will be decided not just by who has the superior skill, but by who can impose their will and execute their game plan most effectively. It's a test of strategy, and Jones sees it as Canelo's fight to lose. The Canelo vs. Crawford fight has all the ingredients to be a classic, with two of boxing's most skilled and determined fighters facing off. Canelo brings immense power, experience, and a history of overcoming giants in the sport. While Crawford is known for his intelligence, speed, and versatility in the ring, as experts like Roy Jones Jr. have pointed out, this fight will come down to strategy. If Canelo sticks to his strengths and avoids mistakes, he will likely win. But if he strays from his game plan, Crawford could exploit those weaknesses and pull off a stunning upset. This matchup is a true test for Crawford, who's moving up in weight and fighting someone with the size and power of Canelo. The weight difference could be a factor, but as we've heard from analysts, it's not just about the pounds. It's about who can execute their plan when it matters most. What do you think? Will Crawford's speed and tactics be enough to overcome Canelo's power and experience? Can Canelo maintain control and avoid making mistakes that could cost him the fight? Who has the mental edge going into this high-stakes bout? And most importantly, do you believe Crawford can defy the odds and prove his greatness by defeating a fighter like Canelo? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. Who do you think will come out on top? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and tune in for more in-depth analysis and breakdowns like this. Stay tuned because the countdown to this massive fight has just begun and we'll be following every twist and turn all the way to the bell.